Hooray, Dungeons and or Dragons.
We're back.
Hello! I am Kermit, the assassin.
I should get my character sheet. I hid it so the
Yeah,
bird
look
would
for
need
it.
it.
I see. Sometimes birds try to eat your character sheets. Hi, everybody. It's us again. We're back. So let's just carry on. You were gossiping with like one of the Citadel servants. Was there anything else you wanted to try and get out of this guy?
I'm going to ask if, obviously I'm going to say my family, but mention certain relatives of mine if they have come around.
So you mentioned sort of like you just kind of steer the conversation. You're skilled at this. You steer the conversation around to like nobles. You ask like about a couple of other noble houses first, so there's no sort of chance of someone like, oh yeah, someone was specifically asking about the Boltries. So you ask about, the Blackmonts, how are they doing around here, and whatever, some other random family, and then you mention the Boltries, and he'll kind of shrug and say that crap, I forgot his name. Your uncle's name.
Aemond?
No, that's his father's name. Started with a D.
Dickface?
No. Yep.
I have said Dickface, I think,
Dracos.
10 times today.
Dracos, that's right, because it was like
Right.
Malfoy. Yeah, he'll say that Baron Dracos hasn't been to his property in the city in ages, probably because he's holed up in his keep in Stormhill, and traveling is pretty dangerous. The other Boltries that kind of have come and gone from the city, mostly avoiding the situation up here. Although there are a couple of them that have been in town for the last few months, and obviously aren't planning to go anywhere because travel is really dangerous, except by ship. But the names that he kind of has to think about it for a minute because he's trying to remember the names, but he will tell you that they are Lucius and Lobelia, who you know to be two of your three siblings.
Oh!
Like.
Well,
they've
we're
been
done.
in city for a while.
Before, I feel like I should, how much gold do I have?
You've got a few coins. You can kind of slip them a little tip. Thanks for your.
Yeah, I will. Well, thank you so much. This conversation has made a gloomy day a little bit brighter. And I pat his hand and slip the money in.
Okay. So once you guys are out of the place, did you want to do your identification spell or ritual, Copernicus?
Oh, I think we want to hide this thing as well as we can.
Yeah.
Like on the way out, keep it in your robes, sort of thing. Yep.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. So to hide it on the way out, and then let's go to I think one of the cults.
Let's go back to our room.
Yeah, to have the next discussion and then identify on what might be done.
So yeah, that safe house, that like well-appointed kind of sex dungeon safe house, that had the secret door. You know how to get in there. You were sort of like, the whole idea was that you can kind of room there for a while. So even without Morgan, you can go back there.
Yeah, Morgan's gone elsewhere in the sex dungeon.
No,
Morgan's got
to a different place entirely.
Yeah.
The old guy's place that you went to interrogated people was not the same as the sex dungeon that you were staying at.
Right.
And that's where you left.
We left her there.
Yep.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
So you head back there.
Yeah.
and you can go ahead and do your attune or your identify,
10-minute
and you
ritual.
discover that this item is known as a Rod of the Pact Keeper. It is a warlock specific magical item.
Ooh.
It is a rare magic item, and obviously in game you learn it boosts the magic power of a warlock. It strengthens their bond with their patron. In mechanical terms, it gives you a +2 to all of your spell attack rolls
Heck.
and the saving DC rolls
Damn.
of your warlock powers. So that means your spell save DC goes from 15 to 17, and your spell attack modifier goes from 7 to 9.
Beauty.
I also like that it's like
In
a subtle sort of like, I'm going to strengthen the bond between you
Yeah.
and Barb. Like, I forgive
I was
you.
gonna say, Perny, like, before the mechanical thing kicks in, I think there's a moment where he's, like, actually, like, moved to the point of his eyes producing that little blood film that is like tears for him. Because, like, this is, like, a, like, former lover who he did not treat well in his exit, who, you know, for reasons that are probably tied to her own self-preservation somewhat, but also that, like, she knows that this is going to, like, Perny doesn't fully understand what his whole patronage deal with Barb is, but I'm certain, absolutely certain, that Countess Nightshade does, and she's, like, handing over this thing that she knows is, like, kind of going to bring them
Aw.
closer. I just think that's, like, it's very big of her.
That's
It's a
sweet.
real-
That is very sweet.
that's a real that's why that lady leads the city, you know.
it also has one further effect,
Oh.
which is that
Gives
once
you colon
per
cancer.
long rest,
Yeah.
yeah, it's side effects, right?
Yeah.
Side effects may include, you know,
Perny cannot have
explosive
any erections.
diarrhea.
He cannot have any erections while attuned to it. Like, he's just limp as a dead fish.
Everyone in the group is like, yeah!
No, in addition, you can regain one spent warlock spell slot as an action while holding the rod up to once per long rest.
Damn.
Damn.
That's a good rod.
That is what she said.
Mm-hmm.
So we all need to have a talk as a group, obviously.
Yeah.
On this.
So but before we move on from that, when it comes to a rod given to you by the lady who runs the city, you know, sometimes it is the size that Countess.
Ba-da-bum.
Good.
All right. Okay. We can move on.
No, it doesn't, because if it's too big, it's not a rod, it's a staff,
Oh. Okay.
right? Remember, wand, rod,
Right.
staff.
Staff.
It's very
Right.
important.
Right.
And
Right,
and
fair.
male wizards always get this mixed up. They always have trouble keeping those straight. Anyway,
Yeah. I'm
Anyway.
proficient in staffs. I can.
Only the
I can
straight
do-
wizards.
Yeah.
Fair.
what, the curved wizards? Sorry. Anyway.
So obviously we need to do something to help her, because not just for our end goal, but because the people in the city in this area are in danger if she is still cursed.
Yeah.
And you said that she's got like that hand thing was like a weird curse, right?
No,
as
he
far
hasn't,
as I
so
can
you
tell-
haven't had any conversation yet because
Right.
you
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah.
speak about it in front of him.
Right.
So
So what was
you don't
going
you don't
on?
know anything yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugna's like, what is happening?
We went there, we
I-
asked her some questions, and then we left, and I didn't understand any of it. But I guess that's not new. But it feels like
I-
less talking happened than we expected.
I believe that the Countess Nightshade is under the influence of some kind of curse in the form of that hand. I believe it could be tied to the Unseelie Courts, to the Frostworm of the North, but it seems to be sapping whatever force it was that motivated her to be the good leader that she was and that held the city together for so long. I
But
think
she's
the best
like
way we
crazy
can help
powerful,
her.
right? So whatever cursed her's got to be even crazy powerfuler.
Yes. So I think that we could spend a little bit of time, if you'd allow me, to do some research on the nature of this curse, to see if like there are any ties between the Great Frost Worm of the North, the Unseelie Court, the Raven Cult. You know, I'm seeing that Frost and Winter are a through line that is connecting all of the enemies of this city and the forces acting on her. And then from there, I know that we have many battles to fight on many fronts. We have the followers of Nihil, we have the Raven Cult, we have the Infected Grove, but there are only so many fires we can put out. It might be worth trying to strike at the Raven Cult in the city before we go. They might be tied to this mark, but I do think that our path will eventually bring us north, and it might be time to see if.
In your vision, because I know the south was on fire, but what was in the north?
Let me just check that. I have a little lore section for all of Glorpa's visions.
And like the west was dead, right?
So there's the big hand over the east. I think there was. Oh, where did I put? Where are you, Glorpa? All right, here we go. Another dream with the big tower in the sea with storms all around it. The one in the east was starting to get really bad, worse than the others, with lots of thunder in the sky getting really black. And then I saw this huge hand reaching out of the clouds. It was like a big claw made of bones. And it was moving like when Copernicus cast his magic spells right over the top of a dark eastern city. Then I saw the Black Mountains out that way, where there were all these dead bodies, but walking around, and they were massing together like an army and marching south. There was a peninsula of land, which is probably the Loak Tal Peninsula. There's some kind of war going on. It seemed to be important. I think the Dark City might be connected to the war. The storm in the west was starting to get worse. Lots of thunder, dark sky, huge claw made of bones over top of Dark City in the west. Oh, wait. Is that the west or the east with the dark claw, or both?
The west. The Dark Claw was to the west, and it was, you'd already basically figured out that the city was Dwimmerdell. It was the Necrogog, and it was coming from out of the west and threatening Dwimmerdell. Or like puppeting things in Dwimmerdell, which you basically figured out was probably related to the fungus.
Okay.
The purple fungus plague.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, and so we haven't seen anything. We don't have any notes on what's to the north. Oh wait, hold on. From the first vision, black storm with lightning to the north, dust storms to the east, earthquakes and red skies to the south, gray skies to the west.
Right.
So I don't think that the hand of bone or the claw made of bone is directly connected to the hand that we're seeing, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong. It could all be Unseelie stuff, right? But I think it could be worth trying to just see if we want to do some damage on the way out of the city to the Raven Cult. I have an idea. Stop me if this sounds like a bad one. But I would like to, at some point, like in a public place, maybe even near where the Raven Cult headquarters would be suspected to be, like plant like conspicuously plant like a piece of paper wrapped around the most like weird or intricate coin I have, and maybe do some like magic mouth on it or something to like give it a magical signature, and write on it in like some really complicated runic cipher, and wrap the paper around the coin, and leave that somewhere near the Raven Cult. And I know that we're being watched, in the hopes that whoever's in charge, or whoever, like someone who has answers, like send someone out to get it, and then we can just cast locate object later and pinpoint exactly where they are, and then just go ambush the shit out of that person, and maybe get some answers. I feel like if we do something weird and arcane and inexplicable, it's gonna find the way to someone who knows stuff in the Raven Cult, because they're actively watching us. And a scroll of locate person is like up to 5,000 gold pieces, but a scroll of locate object is like you can get those on the cheap.
It's not a bad idea.
I'm thinking that could be our way to like find, see if we can find someone with answers in the Raven Cult.
I'm into it.
I think that's a really good idea, to be honest.
Yep, I'm into it.
We're gonna be randomly ambushing whoever picks this thing up, but I feel like they're surveying us enough that
they'll probably deserve it. It's fine.
Yeah.
So we got to stay in disguises and stuff, right?
I think that we don't want to in this case, or like maybe a bad disguise, because we want them to know it's us and we want them to be interested in what it is and to hang on to it long enough for us to cast a spell.
So how much time do you need to do all this research, Bernie?
The research, I gotta ask the DM on that one. But I have like a library in most cities, right?
You have family in most places, and some of that family can access that sort of thing. So, for example, in Dwimmerdale, obviously, you have access to the school library,
Or
but you also have
I've
an occult library, which is in Mud Hollow, which is
Oh,
where
okay.
you're
Right.
going, or at least
Okay.
eventually.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll do what research I can with family members in the city. If I need them at a library, I'd like to do like an initial round. I've a growing note on all the things that Perny needs to look up. Which is currently research leads. So what's the source of the talent on Nightshade, or any information on that? Good, I think, for knowing about the Black Rod. We know what that is now. I want to know more about what unified the armies of Chaga Khan, or like theories at the time for what was going on there. Still got to figure out what the hell is Maladvar, the word overheard on the
Yeah.
Elven ship. Any Necrogog research, the nature of the Elenath or All-Star poem. And yeah, those are the biggies that are on Perny's mind. If there's any way that he could do a little bit of reading around.
Yeah, I mean, your best bet is to get back to Mud Hollow, where your personal occult library is. But then the next best thing would be to connect with the Wizards of the Vale, probably the two best libraries in the world that you're aware of would be the libraries of the Monks of Throm and the libraries of the Wizards of the Vale.
Okay.
And one of those is like a destination you were already planning.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe we swing through Mud Hollow on our way to up north, and I wonder if we can like delegate, like, say, like forest cleanup to. Do we have any allies that we think we can delegate forest cleanup to? Because I think like there's a lot of these things that I do think are like fires that need to be put out, but that we don't have time necessarily to.
When you were talking about the forest thing before, your main issue there was that you don't have the cure, like you have that potion, but you've left. I don't know if you left all the potion, but you left the sample with Glorpa and Professor Schnorp to try and make more of.
Yeah, so there's not a lot we can do until they're done.
Your best allies for trying to clean up that stuff are them, right?
Actually, and, like,
getting them to make more stuff.
I feel like Glorpa as a druid especially would be like motivated to go save a grove. So maybe what I'm gonna do is just like I don't know what the either in this world the male equivalent, like MAIL, the postal equivalent of this is, or the magical equivalent of this is, but I want to CC everyone into like one email chain. Maestro, Glorpa, and Schnagonagle, or whatever her name is.
Yep.
Get them all in one chain.
Maner
like, hey,
Smurf McGargamel.
No.
Hey, I've got a Maner Smurf McGargamel. I got a great place for us to test out this new antifungal thing. If I'll like give the information about how to find it up the if Fetid wants to like sort of narrate the path that he found to get from Aldercove to there. I'll write that down and draw, or Fetid can draw them a map and say like, can we test it out in this grove and see if we can kill this before it nip it in the bud, so to speak. And then at least that's like dealt with, that we don't have to be here for.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we'll say at the very least you could do like all of those people are in one place except for the maestro. So at worst case scenario, it's like two sendings, right? It's like talk to those people and also talk to him.
Cool. So I think
not that difficult.
I think we'll task Rabbit that one out. And if that's good with you guys, and then I think do we want to try and see where this we can forge a weird arcane document with a weird looking, the weirdest coin or
let's do that.
The weird or gem that I have in my like pockets full of random money, and we can see where that takes us.
Trying to set a trap for the Raven cultists.
Yeah.
I mean, I will also point out, you guys have a lot of resources here, and you know it. You have at least one name, right? Like you know that Eliphas Darkmoor is the person eventually that you're trying to find. And between like Tromlin's got his Thieves Guild contacts here, and his friends in low places. Just trying to remember what everybody has. You've got your family members, which I believe there you have family in a monk who runs like a fighting school in town is your local contact. Oh, what just happened? Oh, hey. A wild raven has appeared.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
It's me. I'm outside. There's no grass here, but there is.
Ooh.
I'm a fan of bushes.
One of those.
And then, of course, Fetid has his tribe. And then Tromlin has both friends in low places and contacts for information gathering. Ugna, of course, knows people in the fighting circuit. But yeah, you guys have quite a while. And now, of course, Morgan has... Oh, I just realized that our cameras are messed up.
That's fine.
It's all good. Morgan has contacts with the cult, right? So you do have some ways to try and gather information in addition to this trap idea. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. But I just want to say, so if you guys, let's say that you started having this conversation on your way back to the sex dungeon.
No, we're doing this in the sex dungeon. I don't think we'd have this conversation in public.
Yeah, for sure.
When you arrived at the sex dungeon, there was something I wanted you guys to roll for.
Okay.
So I just don't want to. I didn't want to derail your conversation though.
Okay.
So either it happens after or before or something. But I wanted to. So as you all arrived at the sex dungeon, you need to roll me a perception check. And Raven, you don't have to roll anything. Also, you don't have any dice where you are.
I noticed nothing.
Yeah, I
Rolled
just
4.
rolled 1. I am asleep.
So it's not a cult. It's a social club.
Yep.
As far as everyone here is concerned.
Of course. 12.
Love that my favorite coworker's in earshot for that. Appreciate it.
Good.
Randy, it's down to you.
Hope you noticed something, because we are not doing well.
Oblivious.
So, have we lost Randy?
Also, Raven, your hair is very cute.
Thank
Oh,
you.
we have lost Randy.
Ooh,
Let us show.
There we go.
you back.
So
You back, Randy?
Maybe.
I was just getting everyone to roll perception.
Randy seems to have his mute on at the moment.
That is fine.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello.
hello.
We can hear you.
I rolled a 24.
Woo,
Yay!
There you go. There you go.
Okay, so as you guys made your way back into the this was actually a high roll, by the way. Like this needed to break 20. As you use the secret door in the alleyway to go back into the sex dungeon, and you're having this conversation and starting to light some candles. It's all dark at this point. Everyone who was in there before had gone, and as you just start lighting at candles, there's like Ugna and Copernicus are lighting some candles and starting to have this conversation. Tromlin, you see some movement in the back corner of the room out of the corner of your eye. Like you just managed to catch it, like something being stealthful.
I immediately draw my sword and advance and say, "We see you. Stop where you are."
I get out a sword as well, and I'm just looking in the wrong direction.
You move over that direction, and you don't see anybody there.
Yeah,
What was
Is
that,
there
Raven?
is there enough time to void warp?
I'm going to write you in. You're not with the
Nice.
group at the moment.
Nice.
I wrote you out.
Oh yeah.
But because they've just come back to the sex dungeon, it's perfect. You're just going to walk in a minute.
Geometry Singh.
Well, hang on. So when you first go over there, you don't see anybody. But it is the corner where a bunch of your gear is. So Ugna's backpack is there, and any of the larger stuff that you guys were carrying that you wouldn't have taken with you to the Citadel.
Mhm.
Some of your
I
food
would-
stores, stuff like that.
I whip out my big rod and also my new magic item.
Excellent.
Which big rod?
He
I
got
got
a
a-
new big
I got a
rod.
big-
He found a magic rod, as you do. So yeah, you head over there and you're kind of like, you don't see anyone. You're getting out the gem of true seeing, but then you notice movement again, rustling inside Ugna's backpack,
Uh-oh.
which of course is huge.
Um,
And the gem of true
there's
seeing doesn't
something in your
help you
backpack.
because you're like, oh, there's no illusion here. There's something in there.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna X-ray eyeballs the bag.
Excellent. You activate your eyes of the runekeeper, no, whatever the other one, ghost gaze, ghostly gaze.
Ghostly gaze.
And as Tromlin is telling Ugna there's something in your bag and they're kind of advancing, you glaze over your eyes and look through the ether in the ghost realm, and you see a shape inside the bag. There is a small creature. That creature has a sort of humanoid upper body, but with horns and a big frilly bow, and the lower body below the torso of a spider.
Oh, good.
Oh, baby.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna like okay. It's one of the grand nuggets.
Sword,
Oh.
open bag, come to daddy.
And a fourth grand nugget that you have not seen before, or at least not since it was like
Just
small enough
living in the
not to
bag?
distinguish from the others. Kind of like looks out of the bag at you. It's in the process of like munching on something.
Oh, which
It's
one
not
is it, Trom?
big- It's not eating an owlbear, is it?
No. No, it's just eating some rations.
I just
Um,
look like
Hey, baby.
Nelly or
come to daddy.
Joy?
Come on. I left my kid out of the backpack.
She chitters at you in Abyssal.
Where have you been hiding?
You manage to catch in the chittering two things. One, that she's scared of the big lady, and secondly, that her name is Webby.
oh.
Webby. That's your auntie.
Hey, kiddo.
I will cut my thumb and let her suckle off of it.
Aw.
Oh, that's very good. Yep, that calms her right down.
Yeah, it's okay. When she's a little calmer, I'm going to go set up my altar to Loth and let Loth know, hey, a fourth one appeared.
And I will remind Alina of quite some
Yeah.
time ago
Yeah.
when you took one of you saved the runt,
Yes. When
Of
they
the
were all
litter.
eating each other.
and then eventually lost track of it.
Yeah.
Because it found its way into your backpack, and it's
Oh, great.
been there.
Good.
I have been rolling stealth rolls every game,
I can't roll above a
against-
4 on perception, so that makes sense.
but it's been passive. No one's been looking in Ugna's backpack for anything, so I've been rolling against your passive perceptions every
Good.
single game since the day that you lost the
I
runt.
can't imagine how many disgusting, moldy sandwiches are in that bag.
Oh yeah.
Like-
Oh,
A school
Oh, yeah.
kid getting it under
No.
their bed for
Yeah.
some sort.
None now,
rations.
because
And like
whatever
there's
food was in
rations
that
I
bag
forgot
has been-
about.
actually your bag is full of rations again.
Right.
Like your rations that you hadn't even touched or looked at in like months and months of gameplay have been all consumed and replaced with food stores stolen from the ship at this point. 'Cause she's been like,
recognize any of
she
this
got
food.
to stock up again. It's full of like ships, like biscuit and lots of weevils in the ship's biscuit. That's nom, 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 nom.
Good
Lots
eating.
of bugs. Good bugs,
Yeah.
tasty bugs. So this one doesn't speak any common because you were teaching common to your three nephew or your three sons. Your daughter hasn't learned any.
Well, we can start working on that, but right
And
now my
she's-
bigger concern is making sure she's calmed down.
Yeah, you quickly calm her down. The taste of daddy's blood calms her quite.
Like as I'm
well.
stroking her hair, I'm like, we're gonna let mommy know where you're at, okay?
And this is when Morgan walks in. So Morgan,
Has
you walk
she
into the
Been
into
in there the
the
whole time?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, I can be here for a few minutes. Just a couple. Come and say hi.
So Morgan, you come into the room and Tromlin is cradling some kind of crazy half spider, half satyr, tiny child, which is sucking on his thumb. And the rest of the party are kind of like hanging around, looking all like goo eyes at it. And you're like, what in the actual fuck? As you walk in.
Welcome to Trash Heroes.
Yeah. Is this a friend of yours? Or this person have a name? Or who is this?
This is my
Bernie
daughter,
pulls-
Webigail.
Right?
It's my daughter, Webby.
Oh, okay. You have kids?
Yeah.
I mean,
With the-
I'm pro-choice, so if you want to have them, go ahead.
So
Yeah,
You know.
I
four,
had them
four
with
now.
the goddess. I had with the spider goddess Loth.
Okay.
Perny
I
pulls
mean,
on a.
couldn't be me, but happy for you.
That's fine.
Kids are messy.
I don't recommend kids to everyone. Definitely don't. But
Perny pulls on a heavily worn #1 proud grandpa shirt that clearly has been like through a couple
Good.
battles by now.
hmm
Good.
Burnt in a couple places and cut.
Yeah, many
Excellent.
bloodstains.
Okay. Well, I have a lot of planning for, like, the venue needs a lot of micromanaging, but I have a little bit of time now if you need,
Just we should
my
catch up on stuff.
resources, my input.
Yeah. Okay,
Well,
we should
we-
do a real quick catch up.
Because we don't think we have enough enemies in the city, so we were thinking we might start some beef with the Raven cult and then go out of town and kill a dragon in the north.
Yeah.
This is not a
Also-
joke.
Fun.
Nightshade is cursed, and
Today?
yeah.
Today?
We're gonna strike as quickly as we can, and then I think we should get out as quickly as we can and go. I think we're gonna go to Mud Hollow and then cut north. And have you heard of the Great Frostworm of the North?
Yeah.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
He's our new enemy. He's our new.
She.
He's a. Oh,
She.
She's our enemy. Enemy #1.
also
And we think
my battle's tomorrow, right?
The day after
The
tomorrow.
day after. We'll see how fast we can do stuff.
I think Darla said
Alright.
2 days. So it'd be
Alright.
the day after.
I might be able to send help, but like the event needs a lot of, like, there's a lot of moving parts, including security, because of all of our enemies, and that's
Yeah.
I need to focus on that. But I have an idea of a way to help out. So yeah, I'll take care of that a little bit before I go. I think Lane knows what I'm talking about. Phone a friend.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
sneaky
assuming.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a quick question, Raven. Are you just here for a second, or are you going to stick around for the rest of the game here?
Yeah, I'm in between events right now.
Yeah, then,
I did a
then
show
Don't
last
worry about it.
Okay.
They've got a lot of stuff to catch you up on in character, and we can kind
Okay.
of assume. So I think the whole like, hey, I've got to run off and make some arrangements
Micromanage.
here, but
Yeah.
but that was a fun little mini. You're like
catch up of what? That's a lot.
Choice.
the
You can have
Frostworm
kids.
of the North, eh?
I don't understand it. Those aren't my values, but having children, some people really care about it.
Yep, that's fine. I promise not to be the parent who tries to convince you to have kids. In fact, I'll help you convince you not to.
For those
Okay,
who
well-
care, the Frostworm of the North's name is Kelugnir.
Good old Kellogg.
Kelugnir.
I just want to
yeah.
remind people before I go that we're trying to find people to help us save the world.
This is actually directly to make that happen.
Yeah, this is.
Yep.
Okay.
I promise. I promise. I promise. This is productive. Productive violence that we're gonna.
This
do.
will
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
make a very powerful person able to help us. Right now, they are unable to.
Maybe 2.
Yeah.
Maybe the King's Curse 2 or something? I don't know. It wasn't clear to me.
Yeah.
Likely.
Yeah. So for once,
Okay.
we're actually working towards the goal.
And not just pissing
That's
people
good,
off
that's
because we can.
I know I can get pretty carried away sometimes, so I want to make sure that we understand what our goals are. Kind of guided. Make sure that ship is guided, not just like swerving in the waves. The waves are fun. Killing stuff is fun, but we gotta.
I mean, we killed an aboleth, right? How hard is an ancient frostworm?
I feel like we just said we're gonna go kill Godzilla. Like I feel like.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, I gotta go.
Be safe, Raven.
We will
Can
not burn down. We will not burn
Um,
down the city before the event. How about that?
Yeah.
We promise not to burn down the city before the event.
At least make sure the merch is still there. You know.
Yeah.
We spent a
I
lot of
got
time
I got a merch deal.
in bottles. I presume. But yeah. Okay. All right. I gotta head off. Good.
Later.
Peace.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Various Godspeeds. Bye.
See you, Raven. Alina's just going to open up the other camera so we are positioned properly. That was fun.
It was very fun.
Kellogg's Frosted Worm. God damn it. Damn it, Alina. Yeah, okay, so where was I? Yeah, so with your combination of history and arcane knowledge, Copernicus, you are familiar with Kelugnir, the great frost dragon of the north.
Careful, bud. You fell on the ground. Come on up there.
Oh no.
Oh, come on, buddy. Oh, you fell off. Hi, bud. It's okay. You're okay, buddy.
I fell on the
Your
floor.
brother's right here. Yeah, little guy. Mary.
And for those who are wondering, I can give you an actual numerical value if you're curious about the difference in difficulty between an aboleth and an ancient white dragon. It's literally double. Challenge rating 10, challenge rating 20.
Cool. Love it.
jeez.
That's great. Good.
I'm gonna need a bigger rod. AKA a staff.
Yeah, it's that. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're basically now holed up in the, Morgan came in, was like,
He's like-
okay, I guess I'll come back later. And you've got your daughter Webby. I'm very, very pleased that Randy immediately
Abigail.
cottoned
Yeah.
that it was Webigail.
Are we gonna call her July or March as her name to protect her
No.
surname?
No, well, I guess you could.
Well, because we have
I'm going to contact her mom to let her know.
Yo, found another kid.
Just by the way.
Yeah, you set up the altar and do that prayer, send
Yeah.
word on.
So I can
I
kneel
I love that
Well, you see
Ugna
the
lost an entire child
In her backpack
in my backpack.
for like a month.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess it hasn't been that long. That was right after or shortly after you guys took out that crazy door, mechanical
yeah.
trap.
So that was what,
under
2
Dormer
weeks
Dell.
ago?
So Not even like it's
Alright.
been maybe a week in game. or less, even less. But she's smaller than the other ones because she was the runt of the
Great.
litter.
Great grandpaing, great auntying here. We're doing great.
Dream team.
Yeah.
Look,
Some
we found
great-
her eventually.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hey, a
She
lot
was
of people
fed.
don't even have extended family to rely on. You know, in a live-in arrangement like this. It's very, very good setup. Okay, so yeah, you can carry on your discussions and planning. I just wanted to do
Okay,
the roles for discovering
so-
the lost child.
I gotta fight Kangar in 2 days, but we also gotta find the cult and maybe fuck them up, and then maybe leave town really fast.
How do we think that if we strike the cult before the fight, that would be it would be risky, but it would be the best use of our time. How do we feel about that?
We also don't know if we'll find them right away, so maybe you should do your coin trick, and then we'll just see how long it takes to find stuff.
I can
Perhaps
also,
we
like
can
I said,
put
like
our networks to use.
like Lane brought up, I can also put out feelers with the guild.
I think that would be a wise use of our resources.
Mhm.
So it's late in the night in the game. By the time you guys come back from Nightshades and have this discussion,
Yeah.
and Morgan steps in and out again, it's like pretty nearing, getting pretty close to midnight.
Oh, there
Way
was
past
one thing
Webby's
I wanted
bedtime.
to. There was something I wanted to do. Can I get someone to babysit for me for a little bit?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Perny. I'll be right back. I just need to go check on some things.
And what are those things?
I'm gonna find where my uncle's house is.
Yep.
Oh, you fucker!
Oh, good.
So you're going back to the
Good.
manor, specifically to the Boltree Manor.
I think this is the only thing that Perny would not question as a possible distraction.
Yes. We're just both happy to play with a baby. We're like, yay!
Oh, perfect. We get to babysit while he's doing
That
his
was
thing.
exactly why
Good.
I was like,
Perfect.
perfect timing.
Quick. Distract family with
Thanks, Webby.
child.
While you're
That's how it
doing your
works.
murders, you're gonna be getting PernyNet texts with pictures of us playing and like reading a book together. Ugna
Just
like
fly with thumbs
doing
up and
curls.
smiles emojis.
Yeah.
Good.
As I'm like pushing a pillow over someone's face in their bed.
It's like going to be a picture of Copernicus like reading with his Book of Shadows, and with the spider like wrapped around his head and kind of chewing on the top. It's like, yep, good. Yeah, you
Perfect.
remember exactly where it is, so you can head over there. I'm assuming you're going to be all super stealthy. Do you want to make me a roll?
That is the plan. I am using my cloak as well.
Oh right, you have the cloak.
I'm assuming. I'm going to assume that you're going to put on a new disguise now that you know that the Assassin's Guild
I kind of have
specifically
to.
knew your other disguise. So
I will
you can-
disguise myself as a beggar.
And you're off
Cool.
to do murders, so like you don't want to
Not
use your own
necessarily
face.
murder. Nope, not murders. I never went to my uncle's house. I want to look for things. He's not
Mm.
there. He's been gone for a while.
Right.
This is the same manor that you were at before, right?
I thought you said that he had his own house in town.
No, that was his own. So your father doesn't live here. He was, the Boltree Manor belongs to Baron Dracos, but the family's been using it. So as far as you know, that is where your two siblings are right now.
Right.
Okay, still, I'll go.
Right.
I mean, there's going to be more security than there was last time, probably.
Quite possibly. So you're disguised, and then you're also going to have your elven cloak up and go ahead and make your stealth roll. So go ahead and make a stealth roll with advantage because of your cloak.
All right, my stealth is
Your stealth is +9.
All right, let's see. What did I roll? Oh, thank God for advantage.
Ooh.
Low one's a 1.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would have been bad.
Yeah, that would have sucked. The high one is a 25.
Excellent. Okay, So you make your way over there, beggar disguise, stealthing through alleyways and so forth. You basically manage to get into that neighborhood without any particular encounters. It is, of course, wealthier part of town, but with your abilities, you manage to just get across from the manor. As before, it's got a high-walled yard in the back with stables, and then the front of the house is just front doors leading out onto the street. Two-story building, quite fancy looking. Obviously, two-story buildings are pretty fancy houses in this setting. But as you anticipated, the little parapet above the second floor has actual guards patrolling at the front, watching the street in front of the house. So yeah, there is a stepped up level of. Roll me a perception check as you come up and check out the house, or investigation. I forget which. I think perception's better for you.
Perception is much better for me,
Okay.
by a lot. Well, yeah, no, by a lot. That's right. I have a +7. Let's see.
Yeah, +7 versus +1. So yeah,
Oh, that's not bad though. That's a 17 + 7.
that's a really good roll. 24. So I'm just gonna make a couple of. Wow. These are the worst assassins. Okay, so
Assassins? What?
you notice several things. One, you notice a couple of hidden guards watching through. Basically, there's like a little killway kind of arrow slits near the front of the building, and you manage to spot that there are people in there watching the street level, in addition to the guards patrolling. Secondly, though, you notice a small, like unassuming figure, like a child, in an alleyway, like a beggar child. But you see through the disguise and realize that it is a thieves guild um, person, or at least you assume thieves guild. It's a goblin who is dressed in, a thieves tunic. Like he's got the short, easily moving around kind of like trouser underneath, with the tunic over top, plain, easy to conceal stuff in cloak, little dagger and pouches for thieves tools, all that sort of thing. You get a strong impression that that person is probably watching the place for the thieves guild or for a merchant guild, or for it's a professional spy. But you also notice two assassins on a rooftop across from the building, who, even though I rolled their stealth with advantage and bonuses, still did not break your perception. Because I rolled shit, because they are obviously terrible assassins. So there are two people in very similar outfits, with like soot on their faces, watching the building from a rooftop, like a couple doors down, as though they're laying in wait for something.
I wonder what they're waiting and wait for. I wonder. Do
Speaking
I
of
have my
which, I'm going to
spells
roll
back
their
by now?
perception. Since the no, not since the fight that you had with the assassins. You've not had a chance for a rest since then.
I don't remember how many spells I have left.
You used your
Use a sleep.
free. You used a sleep. You used your free
Misty Step.
Misty Step and another slot for a Misty Step.
That was at the second level spell right there.
I think that you used a bunch of healing spells. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Do I have a third level spell left at all?
you used Prayer of Healing as it is, like at second level, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you cast a regular heal at third level. But I don't remember you casting more than one. I think you've
Alright,
got
no,
a third level spell slot left, but I think you
Right.
only have I think you're out of second levels and you've only got up like maybe 1 or 2 first levels, but you've definitely got 1/3.
Okay. 1 second. How far off are these assassins from me?
I mean, you're. I just rolled their perceptions, and they don't seem to have noticed you. You noticed them a
No,
fair
how
ways
far are
away.
they? How far away are they?
Well, it depends on where you want to go, right? So, like when you first notice them, they're like maybe half a block from you, but you can sneak closer or stay at a distance, whatever you want, because
Or can I send a small monkey to cast a spell for me?
you can. Although that monkey would have to make another stealth check to avoid.
Are
you
they
finding
within
you.
90 feet? Is my question.
You can get within 90 feet without them spotting you, or at least you think you can. You know,
All right,
know for
I'm
sure
going
what
to
I
attempt
rolled,
that.
but
I will attempt this.
I'm just gonna
Okay.
push to the last assassin that messed with us.
oh
We have
yeah,
a
let's get some
picture of
pictures.
Kermit the assassin.
Kermit the assassin running away after he was released.
Perfection.
Ah!
Utter
Oh
perfection.
no, I am Kermit and I am running away
Yeah,
from this
yeah.
assassination attempt that has failed. Oh no. Yep.
Nutmeg
And
objects.
also, I want to see the other one. Elmo Minster.
I'm proud of Elmo Minster, I'm not gonna lie.
You should be.
Oh no, Elmo Minster's great.
It's very good.
Yay.
That's so
Elmo
good.
Minster.
And you threw it together like super fast.
Yeah.
I can draw quick when I sit down.
Laring it up for us.
Amazing.
I
What was it? Elmo
am-
Minster's Infernal Tickle.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Elmo
if I
Minster's
get within
Infernal
90
Tickle
feet,
is definitely a spell.
I want to cast Sleep at third level.
Okay.
So this casting gives me second level higher, 2d8. So it would give me an extra 4d8. So that would give me 9d8 dice.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me those 98.
I just did. 42 points.
Excellent.
Good.
Yeah, one of them is going to fall asleep. Actually, wait a second. I'm just going to roll for something here. It occurs to me that these might not be as high level assassins as the ones you fought because their primary purpose here is to watch.
And
So I'm just gonna roll.
they didn't do well in their perception rolls.
Yeah. Well, they need to have. I mean, that's just because I rolled shit.
That's
but
true. But they could be
for,
slightly shittier.
for more than one of them to fall asleep, they need to be at like just 20 some hit points each. Yeah, no, just one of them falls asleep. So one of them falls asleep, and the other one's like, "Whoa, what?" Although you can't, not that you can hear, but the other one kind of looks alarmed.
Okay. So the other one, I would like to cast Misty Step to peer behind him and try to knock him unconscious.
Oh, good. Good old Sappy.
Snap attack.
Yeah, I think you can do that. The range is only 30 feet on the Misty Step, but if you move and then cast it, I think we can make that work. Yeah.
Okay. I will do that.
And then go ahead, make your attack roll.
I wish I had more inspiration than I do, so let's hope this works.
Well, I'll remind the audience they can always cheer for the party and potentially give people more inspirations. But go ahead and make your roll.
All right, it's let's see, what is my attack?
Your attack bonus is +7, I think.
Oh, cool, 22.
Nice. Very nice.
Oh,
Fuck
+6.
you!
+6, but that's still 21, which is definitely
Really?
higher
Okay.
than his armor class. Okay, so he has to make a saving throw, con saving throw DC 14, and I rolled a 2. So he is stunned for 1 full minute.
All right. He is getting tied up, and I don't need both of them alive. I reach in his mouth and press in on that tooth.
Ooh.
You would
Badass.
take like a knife
Ooh.
or something because you don't want to get it on your fingers, but like you take like a stick or a knife and like force it until it cracks.
Yep.
It actually takes a surprising amount of force. You sort
I
of
would
like
assume
poke it with a
it's
stick and it
enamel.
doesn't go, and
Yeah.
then you take a
You can't
knife
just
instead.
chew and kill
snap
yourself.
You wouldn't want. Oh man, I bit my toe. Oh,
Oh.
Ugh, fun. Yep.
this is Tromlin's slow descent into rage.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, yeah, you straight up murder that guy.
Tie up the other guy. I'm searching both of them for anything on them.
They have one of them has a blowgun with another little ink bottle of the poison
Like they hit you with before.
and a brace of darts. Yep. Other than that, they just have knives. One of them, actually on the roof with them, is a small wooden cage with 2 pigeons in it.
I assume there's something attached to the pigeon's feet.
Nope. I mean, not. There's like they would have the stuff on them to write a letter, but right now the pigeons are just hanging out.
Okay.
Actually,
Well,
they're probably sleeping. They probably got a cover over them and they're sleeping because it's
and I will
nighttime anyway.
let them sleep. I'm gonna take that blow dart, and what is the range in a blowgun?
Not super far. What are you thinking?
Well, I know that there's hidden guards and then there's guards.
The hidden guards are inside the killway in the front door, and you can just kind of see them through the little arrow slits, which are very hard to shoot through, but doable. And then the guards on the roof that are patrolling are just on the roof. Range is 25/100. So if you shoot with disadvantage, you can go up to 100 feet, but it's 25 for normal.
All right,
use.
so that the goblin child is a Thief Guild member.
You think so? I mean, he might not be. He might be, but he's a professional spy of some kind. But he reminds you of the sort of professional con men that pretend to be like street urchins that the Thieves Guild uses to keep track of things.
Mm,
But you don't know why. Like you don't know who hired him or what exactly he's doing there.
gotcha.
The assassins, you have a pretty good idea because you recently dealt with a similar event.
Yep, sure did. And I warned them to leave me the fuck alone. I'm
Well, I
tempted
will
to
point
kill
out
the other one.
you warned them like a couple hours ago.
That's enough time.
Chances of these two having heard of this are very slim.
I do love
Well-
that we get to see our cleric rogue be full rogue for a session. This is very good.
I'm enjoying this a lot.
Can I attempt to dislodge? Well, I don't wake him up. I am going to gag the mouth of the living one.
Yep.
So like he can't cry for help or anything like that.
Oh, I assumed you were killing the sleeping one and tying up the one you knocked out. But
Yeah, that's what I'm
either
doing.
way, yeah. Either way, you've got a guy tied up and gagged.
All right, I'm gonna take the. Let's see. I feel like I need to find out if that's a Thieves Guild spy or not.
I mean, you could, like, I mean, you may like lose track of them if you otherwise, but like you could wait and find, like, you've got contacts. You can ask the Thieves Guild. You can say, hey, is that one of your guys watching that place?
Yeah, but I want
It
to get
would
into
be a
that.
short-term solution.
Yeah. I'm keeping the dart. I'm keeping the blowgun. Those are mine now.
Yep.
I am going to. This is callous. The one. No, I'm not gonna frame one for murder. Realistically, I should not try to infiltrate the manor alone, should I?
What do I know?
I don't know. Rescue mission plots are very fun.
Yeah, you don't know. For one thing, you don't know the power levels of your siblings. You don't know if they have levels.
That's true. That's the other thing.
They could be character classes of various kinds.
You probably have a better chance sneaking in on your own unless you have Fetid with you. Because, like, Perny and I are just going to cause havoc.
Yeah.
I can
Probably
pass
the-
that trace, but that only goes so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bigger issue is your running low on reserves.
Yeah, this is a bad plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I did some reconnaissance, which is what I want to do. The one who's unconscious, I am actually going to untie him. I'm going to put his dagger in his hand, blade for like he's holding the blade, and I'm going to put the hilt of the dagger in the dead assassin's mouth, like he was the one who broke the capsule.
Solid.
And then do what with him? Like he's.
I just want him to wake up thinking he murdered the other guy.
Oh, okay. I thought you were on like someone
Little
to discover
psychological
them. I'm like, well,
trauma,
he's
you know.
sounds good.
Yeah,
So when
I
he
just
comes
want
out
him
of
to
his
think
fun-
he killed his friend. That's all I
hell
give a
just
shit
happened?
about.
Excellent. And then you're gonna slip away.
I might take the pigeons with me.
Yep, you can do that. Roll me another stealth roll though, because this is all taking place on a rooftop that is within sight of the guards.
Bird fact, the cool thing about pigeons is they will go back to their roost, and their roost is probably wherever these guys are from.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
They will
so
carry a
roll
message to wherever they carry a message to.
Yep.
Wherever they've been trained to carry a message to.
Okay, that's not bad. It's a 14
That's fine.
plus
Plus 9, so it's
Yeah.
23.
23.
Yep. Oh, I rolled very well, but still not good enough. So I rolled an 18, but they don't have enough perception bonus to overcome that. So you still managed to slip away without being spotted, having done all this on the roof.
Oh, I
So
just
yeah,
thought
you-
of something I kind of want to do before I would probably do before I left, but I don't know if it might be
that?
too much. Carve Loth's holy symbol into the dead one's neck. Like, no, I'm pushing my luck. Let's just go.
That might get tied back to you too. Okay.
Yeah.
So you head out. You sneak your way back, having
Yep.
done some amusing damage.
I will on the way back see if there's any homeless people who are hungry for pigeon.
Always. You find some quaggles.
I find some
huddled at
quaggles
a-
like, hey,
at a
would you
sewer
like some
entrance.
fresh pigeon to eat?
Yes, we would.
I
It's
gift
Rat and
my
Molly.
friends, and I hand them the cage. Now make sure you take it down to your quaggle holes. If you open the door too soon, they might get away.
Oh, don't worry. And then like Molly adjusts his little glasses and his like cute little woolen waistcoat, and then like reaches in and like snaps the thing's neck and just takes a bite out of it like it's an apple.
Works for me.
Snaps the other one, passes it to Ratty, who like just like ah.
I'm imagining the Wendy
What?
Willows characters, but much like just caked in filth.
What I love about this
No,
is
they're just slightly dirty,
Aw.
you know, but they're still like English countryside dress, but they're like little savage rodent things.
Good.
You know, I really enjoy that. The little walking stick and his little glasses. I don't know if you guys, if anybody else ever grew up with the Cosgrove Hall stop motion Wind in the Willows.
those are pretty. Those are gorgeous.
They're real
Yeah.
beautiful.
They look exactly like that, except
Okay.
a little dirtier because they live in the sewers.
When
And
I
then
worked
it's
in
hilarious
children's
when they're
theater,
savage.
when I worked in children's theater, we did Wind in the Willows, and I
Aw.
was Molly.
Good.
My friend
Yay.
Claire was Ratty, but she did Claire with like such a thick Cockney accent. It worked fine, but still, yeah.
A bold
Trivia.
choice.
trivia, Ratty is not a rat.
Oh,
He's a muskrat.
He's a water rat, which is a thing kind of half, which is
Really?
a British rodent that's more closely related to muskrats.
If you said like, imagine an animal that looks like a thing, that's what they look like. I
Yep.
can't articulate it any better than that.
So
But
I
yeah,
return back and ask, go home, how was babysitting?
Oh,
Oh, it was
Okay.
fantastic. We didn't you get the pictures I sent?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I was a little distracted. I put the blow dart and the blowgun, the darts down, and the
I got her some candy. I don't know if she knows really, if she likes it or not, but kids like candy, right?
I mean, she's still half satyr, so she probably has a little bit of sweet tooth.
So go on a little shopping trip, and that's where you got that from?
Really, how honest Tromlin would be about this.
I'm still trying to decide how perceptive Perny would be. I think he would notice at the very least.
Been lying to anyone so far. I don't think he'd start now. Like, I went to scout out my family's house. There were assassins waiting for me. I took this off their bodies.
Off their bodies.
But you're okay though, right?
Oh, one of them's dead. Don't worry. The other one is going to wake up thinking he killed him.
I just want you to know that your battles are my battles, and I'm sure our battles, and we would that you let us fight them with you.
I hadn't gone planning on this. I had planned on reconnaissance. Specifically, I did some. I may have snapped a little bit when I saw more assassins waiting for me. But in fairness, they were bad at hiding. So if anything, I did the guild a favor by removing their weakest links.
That's a lot of assassins. These guys gotta be spending a lot of money.
Well, yep. And one of them might need some therapy afterwards, and they're going to need a couple new pigeons.
I guess your family's real rich, right?
Yes, unfortunately, they're rather well off.
Well, I mean, if they feel that the Assassin's Guild is not sending their best, them spending a bunch more money to double the guard is going to be a good way to start draining.
The
Whatever
flip
they
to
have.
that is the Assassin Guild realizing I'm harder to kill than they were told, will be very livid at them.
Okay. So you guys rest up for the night
Sure.
Long rest.
in this closed down sex dungeon.
Yep.
Lots of comfy places to sleep. Some
I
of them
bet.
smell a little funky, but
I will let Webby sleep on my chest.
Aw. I've gotten her a lollipop that's like bigger than her entire body.
I mean, there's a lot of lollipops to be bigger than her entire body.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can make her like blood pops.
Aw.
Blood
She
craft
would like
blood pops.
that.
Yeah.
Yep. Blood crafters and blood pops.
a
Excellent.
spider, but with giant shiny anime eyes. And,
Yes.
Come here,
Excellent.
come here, Himo-chan.
But with a design slightly based on Webigail from DuckTales.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, the next morning, everybody's going to be back to having all their stuff,
Woo.
which is good. And also, I guess we should roll for Tromlin's God
Oh
for
yeah,
the day.
God of the day.
Part of me was just to say, well, this is going like, no. While I have my daughter, my god is going to be Loth.
Mm.
I mean, you can choose that if you want. Like you
Here's that. I want Loth to be able to get hold of me at any time because I have one of our
Okay.
children.
Such a good boy.
So the only reason that you randomize is because you are literally sort of like skipping through your little key ring of holy symbols and picking one at random. So you
Yeah.
can deliberately go through and grab the one for Lol just as
Yeah,
easily.
I think that makes sense. Is when my kids are with me, I want Loth to be able to get hold of me at any point.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Sounds good. My goodness, so many
So
birds.
many birds.
And the next day, when he's more clear-headed, Tromlin will apologize. Like, I'm sorry if I put the group at risk. I have some unresolved issues.
You put yourself at risk, and we care about you.
I do appreciate it. I guess I'm angrier than I realized.
Well, I mean, yeah, they were trying to kill you. I'd be angry too.
You did murder someone for not being, quote,
Yeah.
good enough at hiding. But, you know, some days were like that, and other days you might have let him live. And I guess yesterday was a
It's a bad day.
capsule kind of day.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a homicide. Instead of
A homicidal day.
the no bones day, the no one lives day.
Yeah. I guess you woke up on the wrong homicide of the bed.
Oh.
See, I
That's
was
the
going for the
episode title.
rhythm. This is probably too obscure, but it's the Holly Jolly Day song from Pete's Dragon. Except it's the perfect rhythm for "It's a homicidal day." It's good.
Lynn, can you write down the episode title for me? Because I am covered in birds.
What's the episode title you're going for?
Homicide day.
Homicidal Day or The Wrong Homicidal of the Bed.
The Wrong Homicide of the Bed, I think, is probably a better.
Is good.
Yeah, that's a good one. Not gonna lie.
Proud of that one.
I'm gonna stick it in the general just because I'll forget otherwise.
Perfect.
Tromlin's realizing he is not as over his family's rejection of him as he thought he was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
we can put our various networks to work and seeing if we can find out more about Elephas Darkmoor and or the Raven Cult, especially any connections to the Frostworm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the morning, and you got folks you can talk to. Tromlin, you got your Thieves Guild contacts and allies.
I will.
Fetid,
I'll also
of course,
check and
you
see
have
that
your
goblin was.
Fraggles. Yep.
Part of the Thieves Guild.
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay,
if my pit fighters are going to know too much about the cult stuff, but I can ask if anyone has heard anything about the dragon.
So what's the plan here? Are you guys going to split up and go talk to various people and then get back together with your info, or what's the deal?
Yeah, I think this feels like a split up in research kind of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I am a little hesitant to take my. I mean, she's small. I can keep her in my pack, can't I?
That's true.
Yep.
When it's nap time, I'll give her a little blood pop.
Also, we may
Sounds
not want
good.
to all split up if Tromlin is being assassinated.
Oh, that's true. We could do buddy system because
Well,
I
Maybe
don't
we should
really.
do buddy system.
yeah.
Yeah,
I will point out Tromlin has switched his disguise.
that's true.
You do know that the Assassin's Guild had a description that was specifically
That
the
one
disguise
disguise.
Tromlin was using, as well as Tromlin himself, like his normal look.
I can cast invisibility on a bunch of us too, which is I think what Perny's gonna do. It's just what he feels safest doing. In fact, he might like. Oh no, but yeah, Tromlin will need to break invisibility to like ask people things. So I think I'm gonna tag along with Tromlin going invisibly, and I don't really have any contacts to rustle up, so I'll just be there as I'm the bodyguard that no one can see.
Yeah, your only contacts was with your family, with your
Yeah, with Felix Sunshine at the fighting school. I just don't think the fighting school is gonna have like a ton of inside dirt on like inner city politicking or eldritch bullshit. So I'll just let Tromlin lead this one, and I'll be around for extra support.
Okay. So Tromlin and Copernicus are going to go talk to the Thieves Guild, but Copernicus hiding invisibly. Ugna, are you going to head to the,
I'll go to the
fighting pit?
Yeah, I'm a good big distraction. I'm going as Ugna, not in disguise. Just like, I'm a fighter who's in town for the big fight in 2 days.
Makes
Everyone
sense.
look at me, and don't look at Tromlin, who is somewhere else.
And then Fetid, are you going on your own to talk to Quaggles some more, or are you going to go through one of these pits?
Well, actually, I don't know. I'm not sure. what else I really need to ask the Quaggles about. We've got enough actionable stuff going on right now. I think I will
Well-
tag along with Ugna because that sounds
Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
I was going to say that specifically they're trying to find out stuff about the Raven cult, but there's no reason we couldn't combine that, right? Like you
Yeah,
can
exactly.
find Quaggles anywhere. So, cool. So we basically break off into two groups. Tromlin, your disguise is all set up so that you don't get recognized as the same person. And you go off with your invisible grandpa and your hidden backpack child to go meet some local thieves guild. So you are aware from last time that you were here of where the guild hall is, I do believe. I think last time you guys lurked around the market until you spotted somebody and then you got information from them.
Yeah.
So you can just go straight to the guild hall. You know where it is. It is in the back of a tavern, a local tavern. That tavern is called the Wyvern's Eye. And yeah, you can just go in and like give somebody the right thieves can't hand sign to indicate that you are here and would like some information.
I will do this. Sorry, I'm also drawing Webby right now.
Aw,
Yay!
your little feral child.
Yep.
Yeah, and you'll
Oh, and I do my death ward thing, by the way, on Tromlin in the morning. That was what I was
Yes.
going to do. My cyclic
It is
Smart.
I'll put one on Webby as well, but mostly it's so that I can say that we have this live stream now has won a Webby award.
Good. Good.
All right.
fired. Okay, so you you get attract the attention of one of the servers that you is wearing like a little thing on their shoulder that you recognize as indicating that they are sort of a point person, and you catch their eye as though you're just wanting to like get a drink, but you do the hand sign that says in thieves can't, I need to talk to your boss.
The
And-
hand sign for Karening and Thieves Can't.
And she will sort of give you a quick nod like she's just going to bring you a drink, which she does. But in doing so, she sets a little fabric little scrap on the table underneath the drink. And when you pick up when you throw her a coin and then pick up your drink, you look at the scrap, and on the underside of it is written a very little brief instruction on how to open a certain secret door in one of the little kind of privy side room, kind of like an outhouse, but it's still attached by a little corridor to the main building. And so when you have an opportunity, you go over to use the facilities and close the door behind you, and then you follow the instructions, and the side of the little privy opens into some kind of corridor that, from the layout of the place, you think basically goes through the stables in the yard to the other side, which is another building that's not even attached to this tavern or pub. And when you go through there, immediately on the at that door, there's like a little slider, and you knock and someone opens, and there's some like beady little eyes in a huge face that fills the whole thing, and a voice says, "What do you want?"
I give my designation from the Mud Hollow Guild, and I say I came from information.
Do you give your name?
Sorry, just checking to make sure it wasn't my car that's going off. It's not.
Do you
Yeah.
do you give your name?
I give my guild name.
So you give like there's probably like a general designation name that you're like, so sort of like it's a name that everyone from Mud Hollow would use if they're not like someone specifically important.
Yeah.
Just to say,
Doug.
I am from this guild. Yeah, it's like Doug.
D-U-G, Doug.
I'm Splorch. From
Due to a
Mud Hollow.
latrine.
I'm Splorch from Mud Hollow. I have information, or I need information.
I just uploaded Webby to our main.
Oh, good.
Yay! And there's a grunt,
Oh, it's very
and
good.
the slider will slide shut, and then excellent.
I have to see her once I'm not covered in birds.
That never happens.
They're
Wow,
so
they're
good.
just decided it's
Aw.
full on preem time.
They really have.
Is Meg showing up on the? I think no.
No.
Just Mary and Pippin. I was like, Meg's little tiny head down in the corner. He's very cute, but like not showing up on the main. Which is fine. Yeah, so there's a grunt and the slider slides shut, and then there's like a few moments wait, and then you hear the clanking of chains and unlatching the door, and the heavy door opens. On the other side is an ogre. It's very much like the Roger Rabbit scene with the gorilla bouncer filling the entire freaking
Wise
corridor.
ass.
Yeah. And he's kind of stepped back. So like you can tell that he's got like a really hunched back, and his head is just down where he could stick it in the door frame. But he's like 8.5 feet tall at the shoulder. And he
If you could step through the door slowly to give me time to sneak in with you.
I will do that.
and he kind of like squishes himself against the wall so you can make it by. And he goes, ugh, closes the door behind you. So you go through, and it opens into a large open space. This is basically a guild hall, and you can see like a number of people like playing cards, chatting about work, and just kind of sort of hanging out in the guild hall. And at one end of the room where there's kind of a little dais, all sort of not like a throne sort of thing, but vaguely Masonic, where there's like a little raised area where someone with a higher status gets to sit. And there's 3 people sitting up there. One of them is an orc, one of them is a dwarf, and the other one is a human. Although with a weird skin tone that might mean that there's some kind of
Buddy, you fell off.
elemental blooded person. And they're all sort of heads together kind of chatting about something, but they've all kind of stopped and are watching you approach.
I apologize for interrupting. I did not mean to. This is a bad time. Should I return later?
The orc will shrug, and the human sort of looks at the other 2 and says, "No, this is a good time. What's Mud Hollow's business?"
I will admit this is more my own than my guild's. I was offered a potential, say, job, and I was wondering if their guild has any information on the Raven cult.
His eyebrows kind of shoot up when you say that, and he looks around at the others. And the orc kind of get like you're observant enough. You're catching. They're doing like a little bit of not so much cant, but like trying to communicate quietly. The orc gives an almost imperceptible head shake.
Can I sneak on over there to get closer to hear the whispers since I'm invisible?
Oh yeah, you don't even need a stealth roll. It's like loud enough in here from like the other conversations and stuff going on. And the dwarf looks downright scared. And the human says, "We don't know anything about the Raven cult. The Raven cult is none of our business."
Can I? Oh, if I cast Detect Surface Thoughts, I'll come out of invisibility, right?
And I'll try to do insight and see if he's trying to either hint something or he just like, we won't talk about it.
Go ahead and make the insight check. And Copernicus, you can try and find like another means of being hidden to cast that spell, because remember, you've got your shadow cloak crazy shit. as an option.
I'm now inside a secure room in the
Yep.
back of a guild of people who do kill people for a living,
Yeah.
and I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I can, if you show up, I have to act like I don't know why you're here.
But there is a crowd here. Like, it's not like you are like we're gonna appear standing in the middle of the.
Okay. I'll try to appear somewhere out of eye line, and then just sort of quietly step out and
Nice.
maybe that detect thoughts.
Yeah, I'm having a
So
good
that-
dice night. I'm kind of
That's
confused.
a hell of an insight roll. So that insight roll was a 26. You realize that he is trying to indicate something, but not to you. And you get the impression that he's interested in talking to you, but he's kind of like debating with the orc about what they should do. And you're not sure why, but like there's something going on here. Like this is odd. This is weird.
So I
They're
wonder if those-
deliberately avoiding using Thieves' Cant, which is not surprising to you because they know you can use it, or presumably they believe you can use it.
Would I think it's because they're worried that the Raven cult has maybe infiltrated the guild?
I mean that is the most likely thing to occur to you, is that like the fear on the dwarf isn't very good at hiding. Like the other two are obviously much better negotiators than the dwarf, because he just looks kind of like frightened to be talking about this. But the other two are kind of like deliberately exchanging looks and sort of trying to communicate without communicating. And yeah, that's probably a reasonable thought. Copernicus, you find yourself a group of people at the bar, and kind of like from where they get amongst them invisibly, cast your spell, but you make sure you find some people who are like tall enough and large enough that like you're not going to be immediately evident amongst them, and then you can kind of like push through and do like a little like you were in the scrum trying to get the attention of someone behind the bar to get a drink. And I'm gonna have you roll, and this is something you may need to goose because you're not great at this, but you're not terrible. You're gonna roll me a performance
Ooh.
because
Yeah.
you're going to attempt to fit in, which is a thing that you've always tried to do, you've always had to do, but you've never been great at.
All right. And I can't make this persuasion.
No, because this is not a conversation. This is you trying to avoid drawing attention.
Oh boy.
Fly casual.
I will
Ooh.
allow you to start this with a stealth roll, though, just to see, like, to minimize the number of people that would potentially be perceiving you.
Okay, so I've
roll.
rolled very poorly on the performance. Let me roll the stealth roll first.
Okay.
Can I use the Armor of Shadows, or is that not?
Yes.
This is not the kind of stealth. Okay.
No, you can use the one with shadows, not the armor of shadows. That's your mage armor, but one with shadows that gives
One
you
with
plus 10 to
shadows.
stealth. This is definitely a dim lit place, and you're in the shadow of various other people.
So that is a 29 on the stealth.
Okay. So
then a
basically, people
7 on
not
the
in this group
performance.
aren't going to see you. I would spend an inspiration on that performance roll.
Do I have inspiration?
You have one.
All right.
Mm.
Which is more than
I-
I've got.
I will use the inspiration.
I will
That's much
remind the
better.
audience again that these people might need more cheering to happen for them
It's a juicy
in the
19.
near future.
Ooh,
Please don't let
That's
us
pretty
die.
that's
solid.
better.
That's pretty solid. So,
Money well spent.
in that case, you basically manage to sort of like appear no different than the other people at the bar here. You kind of mimic somebody else's hand motions when you're calling for your drink,
Nice.
in the hopes that you're like, yeah, this is going to be it's kind of Thieves' Cantish. I'm supposed to be here. Nothing unusual here. I'm just another thief. While blending enough in with the shadows that people outside the group aren't likely to even notice you over there.
Love it.
And you cast yourself a detect thoughts spell. Yes.
Good.
Okay. So I'm just pulling up that spell description. Because I can't remember if there's a base saving throw or if that's only when you go deep. You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature. What is on its mind at the moment. So you're going to basically get, which one are you casting this on, the orc or the elemental?
Who do I think has? Can I roll an insight check to see who's been giving? Who's been like more of the leader? I guess who's been leading the other.
They've been like looking to each other. You're not really sure
Hmm.
that either of them is like higher
Like
ranked
council
than the
kind
other.
of thing going on.
Yeah. Which one seems most reluctant?
Like one of them is doing all the talking, and the other one, but is kind of looking to the other one like almost for permission, and it's sort of like hard to say which of them is actually kind of more senior to the other. They're both, I mean, like they're being cagey as hell. So like in terms of
Yeah.
being able to figure out, like go ahead and make an insight roll, but they are going to have a very good.
It's an 11.
Yeah, no, they've
Um,
got you beat. So
yeah.
you're too inscrutable. So you're just going to have to pick.
All right. Let's go with the elemental.
Okay. So he, yeah, as the discussion is going on with Tromlin, he is basically thinking along the lines of, we don't know if any of their agents are in here.
Okay. I'll do a little I'll send a little note to Tromlin on with my book, just letting him know that that's what that guy's thinking.
I will, when I get the note, I'll say, gentlemen, I don't mean to cause disturbance. This is obviously not the best time. You're very busy. Maybe another day we can discuss other things. Oh, before I forget, I don't want to step on anyone else's heist. I saw, I'm trying to think of a diplomatic way for my, like, Trauma could say this. That he, last night saw someone, he's like, I was worried I may have seen a lookout. I apologize. I don't mean to step on anyone's heist. I immediately,
Yep.
when I saw that someone was watching the house, whatever the name of Draco's house is.
Yep.
So please pass along.
Baron Draco Boltrey, or just Baron Boltrey.
Yeah, Baron Draco Voltries. Please, in camp, please pass on to whoever was watching the house. If I don't hope they don't think I was going to try to steal from them. The minute I saw a watch, I backed away.
One of them, the elemental you're talking to, just sort of nods, but you actually catch a glimmer of like recognition in the orc's eyes. You think that the orc, actually not the orc, the dwarf. He's not as good as masking his stuff. So you get you feel like that dwarf knows what was going on there. Not sure exactly what, but you get that impression. But from what you just said to the elemental, he'll say, he'll do some thieves' cant above the table, but he's kind of positioning his hands so that it's going to be hard for people. Like, you sort of like get the gist. You rolled really well on your insight, so you kind of like see what he's doing and position yourself closer to the table so that his hands are shielded from anyone behind you. And he will just give you a sign of, let's talk at the, he names a different pub.
Mm-hmm.
He'll, we'll say, let's meet at the Skinned Rat in 2 hours.
Very well. Oh, one last thing. I'll be heading to the north in a few days. Are there any deliveries that might need to be made for y'all?
He'll say,
Hey,
the orc will say, the roads to Northhold are not particularly safe right now.
Hence why I'm offering to make any deliveries. So none of your own in-house
have to worry.
Let me look into it. That might be useful to us.
Like I'm
You
basically
have a
trying
way
to
to get
ingratiate
there.
myself to them because I just put them in a weird position.
Yep.
And also, if I am going that way, why the fuck not?
I mean, you sort of aren't, but
I thought we were.
no. So, if you want to pull up the map briefly, Alina,
Yeah.
this will kind of be the last thing we do here. Oh, I see some cheering is pushing you guys further up towards rollover here.
There's the map.
Thank y'all.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Dave
We've been
Morello.
leaning on that
So-
that inspiration this episode.
So yeah, you guys are considering. So
We
he's
are
talking about the road
here.
to Northhold. Yeah, so you're in Ravenfall.
This is the road to Northhold, which kind of goes through the Wildwood.
So it depends on what you guys are. You guys were talking about going towards the icy wastes,
Which is up this way.
which no one does, which is why the Thieves Guild guy assumes you meant Northhold. Because when
Oh,
you
I
say I'm
apologize.
going north, they're going to
Uh,
assume the only place worth going that is north, which is
No,
I
we're going
apologize, gentlemen.
where no one goes.
I mean, I apologize. I'm not saying can't. I'm actually going towards the icy wastes.
you know, that they'll like all kind of like look at each other like,
This guy's crazy.
A job is a
Okay.
job, gentlemen. You know how it goes. Coin spends no matter where you get it.
the orc will just sort of nod and say, interesting. And they'll sort of like give you like a dismissive nod, like, very well.
Thank you. And I head the fuck out.
I'm gonna. I'll
Now-
wait like 15 minutes before I go.
Now, Copernicus, how are you leaving? Is a question. Because there seems to be only that one door that has the ogre guarding it.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Can I watch him for a little? I'm gonna start short resting, and watching him to see how much attention he pays to people coming in and out. Like, do I get the sense that he's like counting, memorizing faces, that kind of thing?
You don't, but like he has to open the door for each person. So you would be taking the risk that he doesn't go like, "Who the hell are you?"
Yeah. Or I do the invisibility thing and just wait for someone to be let in or
Yeah.
let out. I think I'm gonna do a short rest, cast invisibility on myself quietly in a corner, and then duck out. And I'll send Tromlin a little note saying like, I'll follow in an hour. You'll have to tell me where the
So-
meeting is because I don't really know what happened there. But I'll listen to conversations while I'm here. Actually, watching
you don't
what
have
they
to
say.
do a short rest.
I think
You
I
got the
cast
rod now.
invisibility.
You did,
Yeah, but I want to save that.
but I mean, it's a thing that you can just use once per long rest. Like if you'll use it again,
I'm not
Was it-
convinced that we're not going to try and burn down the headquarters of the Ravencall tonight, and if so, I want my rod
Highly
ready.
possible.
Yeah,
Alright, well-
the refractory period on this rod is not so fast that
I will require some social roles to try and avoid getting noticed as not a member of the Thieves Guild while you sit here for an hour.
All right, I'll
So-
give that a try. I mean, Purdy's mostly going to be quiet, and maybe he'll just glower as if he's very unapproachable and no one should talk to him as he sips his drink. I will try and fit in. Here we go. Another performance. Can I do persuasion now?
Purdy's
well,
best
now-
skill
I'm
fitting in.
Yeah, this is going to be persuasion unless you're specifically trying to go the intimidation route.
No, I'll go the persuasion route
Okay,
because it's the better number.
so I'm going to need a total of 3 rolls to sort of parry social attempts to figure out who you are.
Yes, I parry social relationships.
Yep.
15,
Okay.
17.
And
Oh, thank God it's a 7. I thought it was a 1. Oh, thank God it's a 7.
Ooh.
That's a 14 on the last one.
okay,
And I'd also like to listen in on like see if they like talk after Tromlin leaves. Yeah.
if you don't do invisibility, you're not going to get near that table without people definitely taking a stronger interest in you. Unless you've got some other magic trick in mind. I don't think you have like, well, you're out of spells. I was going to say
Alright.
like a
I
clairaudience
whipped-
or something.
No, I whip my rod out and I
That is going to be how you describe that every time now,
It's
isn't
never
it?
not gonna be funny.
100%. I whip my rod out on the table and turn invisible. And then I'll go sneak
No,
up
no,
to
no.
them.
You're trying to be
into the-
surreptitious. You
Yeah.
you reach into your cloak and
and
grip
stroke
your
my
rod.
rod. Yeah. Quietly under
Exactly.
the table. I grip my rod
Surreptitiously.
in the folds of my cloak.
And,
So yeah, and then I'll sneak up to the table and listen.
Yeah. So I'll take your social your first social roll to sort of like disengage to a point where you can get kind of out of a line of sight and duck kind of behind something that no one's really paying attention to, and then cast invisibility so that you don't just disappear in plain sight. Yeah, and then you slip over nearby and listen in. You will not hear anything as they look at each other and say sort of really weirdly casual things about the weather and twitch their fingers at each other.
Keep that detect thoughts going then, and I'll pick up one half of the conversation in the guy's head.
Sounds good. In that case, you'll get a general gist that they don't know what that guy's deal is. Maybe they can send a message to Mud Hollow, but it's going to take a day at least to kind of check on this person's legitimacy.
Buddy, you fell off.
But there are ways to at least try and, cover their butts. You get the impression that they're very interested in somebody wanting to know more about what the Raven cult is up to in the city. You're pretty sure from hearing this conversation that there are members of the Raven cult within the Thieves Guild. Maybe important people, because they're kind of like that dwarf keeps looking real scared at this conversation. You don't pick up well, actually, there's one thing that you could do if you want. If you're willing to drop your detect thoughts, you could take 10 minutes of the build-up here to switch to comprehend languages.
It would involve dropping invisibility.
No, it wouldn't. Well, sorry, yes. Well, okay, first of all, order of events.
Yeah.
I just realized detect thoughts only last for a minute max.
Oh, okay. So I didn't.
So you lost that already. But if you were trying to kind of listen in nearby and not being able to, but seeing that they're using Thieves' Cant, before you ever decided to cast invisibility, with your first couple rolls here to sort of like, oh, don't mind me, you could certainly have taken the time to do your ritual.
Couldn't he also net me what they're saying, and I can translate?
No, because it's Thieves' Cant, so it's a mixture of gesture. Like he wouldn't even necessarily know which bits are
finger gun emoji, AOK emoji, chef kiss emoji.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But you rolled well enough on your first roll for your social interactions to keep people away while you did a 10-minute ritual. And once you've cast comprehend languages, you can keep that up while you cast invisibility.
Okay.
Sorry, but you don't have the spell slots left. Never mind. I'm not paying attention. Oh no, it's a ritual.
No, I did. Yeah, it's a ritual.
You don't need
a
spell slot.
Yeah, and then I used a spell slot for the invisibility, but using the rod.
Gotcha. So you are able to catch. So basically, they are discussing. I don't know what this guy's deal is. The whole going north thing is weird. Like icy wastes. What the fuck is he talking about? Like I don't. They must be like sending a magical recon or something, because there's no way the guild would just send somebody to die in the wastes.
Well, I did tell him I was not here for Mud Hollow Guild business. I was on my own.
Yeah, but still, they're like, I mean, they're basically like, remember what you were being told before. The barbarians have basically completely wiped out every settlement outside of the city. So it's effectively like going, I'm just going to stroll across the North Korea demilitarized zone and check some things out.
Yeah, no big deal.
It's like, what? What are you talking about? You're just like a tourist in Seoul saying, I'm just going to go check out, how things in Pyongyang are.
I wonder how North Korean kimchi varies. Be right back.
Yeah, exactly. So like the locals are just like, what?
The
Shut
hell?
up. Whatever. But they're like, okay, maybe he's crazy. Maybe he was just trying to like hint at something. But like, I want to know what he knows about the cult. you know, and etc. Or about, and they're even careful with the thieves' camp. They're saying, I want to know what he knows about them. Like they're careful in case someone else catches what they're talking about. So they're being very sort of like vague innuendo. But the one of them is sort of trying to argue. The dwarf is arguing that he doesn't want any part of this, and that this is like a terrible idea. They're going to get themselves killed, and then he kind of storms away. The orc is just basically saying, this could be a trap. This could be, you got to be cautious. And the other guy is saying, we'll listen, we'll hear it out, listen in. We don't need to like tip our hands. Don't need to say anything. Don't need to commit to anything. Just find out what the angle is. It's got to be eventually, like the guy will actually mention Benny. And he'll say it can't be lost on Benny that there are problems out here. And eventually the orc will sort of be like, well, I mean, it's your funeral. And the other guy will be like, do you want me to keep you out of the loop? He's like, no, I want to know how it goes, but I'm not coming.
Fair. I mean, it
And
can't
he's like,
fault
fair
him.
enough.
Yeah.
And then they go back to talking about some job that you couldn't care less about. Some kind of like, they're talking about betting, and you realize after a while that they're like, it's, oh, the big fight. People are talking about gambling.
What are the odds
They're
on
talking
Ugna?
about bookmaking.
Yeah. Perny will
And that's
listen
where
to
we're
the
gonna,
odds of
yeah, and that's where we're gonna leave it. So you wait for a
Alright.
while for someone else to leave, and you slip out, follow them through the secret passage, and sneak out. I'll keep your 29 stealth roll.
Beauty.
And
Excellent.
we'll pick up next time with Ugna and Fetid at the fight pit.
Awesome.
Sorry for
Wayne,
derailing
can
everything,
you-
guys.
Oh no, that's big plot coming out now.
Well, also
So-
me, like more like me going to my family's house, and I felt like
That's fine. That was good.
So quick question is, the next game would be on the 9th of June, but Alina may be at a thing in Seattle. Have we found out yet if that's definitely happening
I think I'm just going down for the one day because it's
on the Saturday?
yeah. So we're good to
So
go.
we should be good to play on the 9th then, if that's good
Yep.
for everybody else.
It is.
I'll be watching my kid, but I'll still be here.
Cool.
All right.
All right. So next
roll
game,
me 1d20, Lane.
I will roll a d20 for our wonderful subscribers, number 17.
E.R. Johns.
E.R. Johns, you are the proud recipient of some more
I wonder if that's Raven's
artwork.
sibling.
What's that?
I wonder if that's Raven's sibling.
Oh, that
What is
could
John's with an S? I don't know. Anyway, that'd be cool. It'd be easy to get it to them.
be. Indeed. So thanks all for coming. Anybody got anything to shout out? If you're, I forget the name of Raven's art festival.
Oh yes, I will see if I can find a link to that. I will also be streaming on a different channel on Sunday. We've got episode 6, I think, of Empyrean Rising. It's going to be a really good one. Our characters have to have a very fancy dinner with some very important people. I'm sure it's going to go great.
How can it not?
So you can watch that on twitch.tv/Altered Echo Archives. I'll see if I can throw the link into the chat. But that's Sunday at 12 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. EST.
Anybody else want to shout anything out?
I want to shout out Sam Logan for lending us his phone to hold the place
Yeah.
of
Correct.
Randy Green in our Discord setup so that OBS would interpret all of the data in the right place.
Thanks,
I-
Sam Logan, creator of Sam and Fuzzy. You're a
Sam
champ.
Fuzzy. You're a sweet guy.
Excellent.
I think Tremors Fest is what.
Tremors Fest, yes.
Yeah, is what a Raven is
There
at.
should be a link around somewhere in the chat.
Anybody else? As always, make sure to check out everybody's comics
Please.
and subscribe to Patreon, subscribe to the channel. all
Yeah,
that
just
good
throwing
stuff.
Some links at you.
Yeah, sign up for the Discord. We always talk about the next games, and there's some fun chatter. So you can always
wait,
sign up.
I actually do have a thing to plug. I forgot. I'm so bad at remembering to do promotional stuff.
Self promotion.
Yeah,
We're good at it.
I'm doing like a giveaway thing. I don't like social media things, but I'm doing a giveaway thing of like you can get the story engine deck and a bunch of expansions in one of my books for free on Instagram. If you go to instagram.com/theshorteststory, you'll find all the details, and it's like a $200 worth of stuff or something for free, and it's good for if you like tabletop RPGs. It's a really helpful, fun tool, so I think you'd like it.
Yay.
Nice.
Okay. And with that said, we will see y'all next time for some more heroic trash, as we do. And bird noises.
See y'all later. Many bird noises.
Many bird noises.